Have you ever noticed that a lot of men talk about what is happening in their lives, but not what is happening inside of them? Many men are not struggling because they're weak. They're struggling because they spent years carrying things that nobody actually helped them to process, or they were never taught how to process whatever it is that is happening in their lives. We keep telling them to open up, but we never really talk about what made them stop opening up in the first place. Because so many men want to open up, but somewhere along the way they were taught or they learned that needing help makes you less valuable. And if you're a man watching this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you're not, I promise you, you have seen this happen to a man in your life, whether that's your dad, your brother, your uncle, anybody. This does happen to them. In honor of June being Men's Mental Health Month, we're going to be talking about how men were never taught how to be human. And this is not a video about men versus women. It's not who has it harder, because human suffering is not a competition. But I think that men carry a lot of struggles quietly that are worth talking about. The issue isn't that men don't feel. The issue is that men learn how to disconnect from what they feel. Men experience fear, insecurity, rejection, heartbreak, just like any other normal human being. But they have grown up learning and literally engraving it in their mind that some emotions are acceptable and some aren't. And the thing is, this doesn't even show up in some dramatic, obvious way. It shows up in ways that people don't even think twice about. For example, the man who loses his job. He's scared, but he can never admit that. He'll say, I'm fine, it's fine, such is life. The man who gets his heart broken. He would rather distract himself rather than grieving. He would distract himself with work, gym, alcohol, gaming, anything but feeling. The man who feels lonely. He loves, he has friends, he goes out, but nobody can really figure out what's wrong with him. The man who is struggling financially because he deeply believes that his value comes from what he can provide. And the issue is not that men don't have emotions. The issue is that these men don't have spaces where their emotions are safe. See, when you look at all these situations, we can all come to one conclusion, and that is that men don't talk enough. But I actually think the issue is much, much deeper than that. I think the real problem is that men learned to build their entire identity based on performance. Performance at work, in relationships, financially, socially. And when your worth is tied to performance, every failure feels like a personal failure. Not I failed, but I am a failure. And that's a huge distinction. Once you start looking at it from that lens, a lot of things begin to make sense. And in fact, I think there are three major reasons why men are struggling quietly right now. Firstly, like most people, men are taught to earn love. Not directly, but indirectly. Good grades, good performance, good behavior. And the message now becomes, I matter when I achieve. And that follows men into adulthood because now they matter when they are successful, when they have money, status, productivity. And then when that disappears, their identity also disappears. Secondly, men lack deep emotional community. Men often have a lot of friends, and there's a difference between friendship and emotional intimacy. They are not always the same thing. Men often have friends who know their favorite football team, they know their favorite music, their favorite drink, but these friends don't know what keeps them up at night, their fears, their insecurities. And with that, they start feeling very lonely. And loneliness is not being alone, it's feeling unseen. And I talk about loneliness in my other video, so make sure to check that out as well. Thirdly, many men mistake emotional suppression for strength. There's a difference between strength and suppression. Strength says, I'm going through this, I feel it, and I'm gonna deal with it. Suppression says, I don't feel anything. One is healthy, the other one will eventually explode. And emotions don't just disappear, they change form. They can turn into addiction, anger, numbness, isolation, anything. So if these patterns are contributing to the problem, then the obvious question becomes, what do we actually do about it? Because awareness is important, but awareness doesn't change anything. So we have solutions. First solution, create honest conversations. Not everything has to be a joke. Not every conversation needs to be surface level. Actually, talk to people about deep things, about things that you're going through, or things that actually have value and not just jokes. Second solution, expand your emotional vocabulary. Everybody knows good, bad, angry, but there is disappointed, overwhelmed, anxious, lonely, frustrated, ashamed. Naming your emotions helps you process them better. Third solution, stop tying your worth to your usefulness. You are more than your salary, your achievements, your productivity. Human value is way beyond your performance. Now, this all sounds great in theory, but insight does not change lives. Action does. So, here's what I want you to do this week. If you have felt some type of way about this video, I want you to sit down and ask yourself, what parts of myself have I been hiding because I felt like people would not accept it? Then write down and ask yourself, what would I change if I stopped treating vulnerability like a weakness? The reason I'm asking you to do this is because real change does not usually happen with a massive breakthrough. It starts with honesty, honest conversations, honest reflection, honest acknowledgement of what you've been carrying for so long. I don't think men should be less masculine. I don't think men should be different people. I think men simply need the permission to be human, to feel, to not have everything figured out, to struggle, because strength never meant to carry everything alone. Because at the end of the day, the goal was not for men to be different people. I think the goal is much, much simpler than that. Okay, so my loves, we have come to the end of this video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. If it resonated with you, or you think someone else might be helped by this video, make sure to send it to them. And remember, I post 2 times a week, so make sure to turn on that notification bell so that you do not miss any video from me. Make sure you are subscribed, because if you're not, you're missing out on some very good information that I have to share. And make sure you like this video and share it to all your friends. Thank you for staying. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.